Way! Hello and welcome to my review of the Sisters of Battle Zephyrim squad. I know what you're thinking. Super, on the box there it says Seraphim squad. That's because it is a dual kit. Games Workshop allow you to build either the Seraphim or the Zephyrim. It doesn't say anywhere on the front you can build the Zephyrim. However, spoiler, it also has pictures of the Zephyrim on the back, which if you're new to the hobby, might overload you with feelings of confusion. However, one of my goals is to unconfuse you. This box set will cost you £32.50 and consists of 107 plastic components, which is 9 components less than the Chaos Space Marine Raptor box set, but that is an old box set and that is £10 cheaper than this one. If you're looking for a Space Marine equivalent to this, the Assault Squad is £5 cheaper at £27.50, and the description doesn't actually go through how many parts there are, but it is a decent set and it does contain many options. Anyway, onto these. So this is the Zephyrim, which are the elite versions of the Seraphim, if you want to call it that. The Seraphim are the fast attack choices. The main way you can tell is essentially all of these girls have power swords and bolt pistols, and the Seraphim either have the dual flamers or the dual bolt pistols. Now personally I think that a power sword and a bolt pistol is better than 2 bolt pistols, and bolt pistols aren't the best thing in the world anyway, but still, they are the main differences. We'll go through some size comparisons in a moment, but let's have a look at these beautiful miniatures. All of these models were quite straightforward to put together. I didn't spend too long putting both of the squads together as a Zephyrim or a Seraphim squad, but then again they only contain 5 models per box. Would they have benefited from a separate box set? Yes, if it meant that the price was lowered. I can see why Games Workshop have done this, because in my unboxing I showed you the number of sprues you get. I think it was only 2 sprues anyway. And I feel that if they had this as a separate product, it would only cost about £22 or £25 instead of the £32.50. We saw the start of that with the Space Marine Centurions, and that had a single kit for both the Assault variant and the Devastators. That's one of the products that stand out in my mind of an expensive dual build kit. And then more recently coming out, well, whenever it's coming out, will be the new Adeptus Mechanicus jump pack troops and the hounds, the cybernetic hounds. They'll be dual kits as well. But I do feel like if this was separate, it would be cheaper and you'd get a lot less spare parts. Would still be an easy pill to swallow. So let's have a look at these miniatures before I blab on ages about prices and things like that. Clearly I haven't glued them onto the base. That would just be stupid. You know, I will paint these in the next 10 years, I guess, and then I will glue them onto their pre-based bases. But this is what I've done with mine. You pretty much have to choose the poses that they come with. Their arms only go in one way. The Zephyrim have these spiky helmets and also these spiky power packs. That differs from the Seraphim in that they don't have the spiky helmets and the power plants and the jet packs. You could really trick your opponent though and put those on, I guess. One thing which was really odd is that the jetpacks only go on specific models, and also these power plant type things here with the purity seals, again, they're bespoke to that jetpack. So you can't put this little icon thing and purity seals on a different Zephyrim, which I found is quite odd. That, you know, what they've done is they've made them as bespoke as possible in that the back plug is like a square, and then one of the others is like a circle, the other one is like a triangle, you know, so they've made them very, very bespoke, which is good, but it's also bad in that, you know, you're going to have quite a few twins if you get another one of these box sets and just say, all right, well, I'm going to put them as Zephyrim again, which, yeah, there's pros and cons. You know, the pros are that they're going to be very unique looking models, but the cons are if you want to build a collection of them then you're going to have quite samey models. Anyway, power sword and bolt pistols looking great, lots of detail, loads of beads, loads of icons, loads of fleur-de-lis symbols everywhere. Beautiful, beautiful models. It kind of gives me hope that Games Workshop will release more Sisters of Silence, more plastic Sisters of Silence one day, rather than just their one set that they've got. Okay, that's that one. This one, way amazing. Very, very decent pose, that one. I like that. Firing, you got the hips going that way, you got the sword going the other way. Lovely pose. Yeah, you've got all of these things going on behind her, all of her cloak, and I found these models quite difficult to put together. There's another one in the Seraphim, because pretty much those poses are sort of the same with the Seraphim. With this one in particular, in that she's got part of her cloak underneath her on her leg, and that goes into a specific hole. And it's the same for a Seraphim, and that was like the hardest model, that area, to sort of put together. So that's that one. We'll just leave it like that because it is comedy value. This is the Zephyrim Superior. Beautiful model. You don't have to put the dove on there, completely optional. I have, because I put doves on all of my Sisters Battle where I can. You've got this amazing banner thing. Beautiful. It's already got the detail on there, so even though I put the beads, hopefully I can get my paintbrush in, tuck it underneath, slip it in, but it's all raised, so you don't need to paint the flag at all if you don't want to. That might upset a few people, very small amount of people, I guess. But yeah, you've got loads of symbols and things. You've got this extra little icon thing, so you can pick your order. Mine is clearly the bloody rose, except for there's two rose icons, and I can't really tell the difference even with the help of the codex looking at it. They're both roses. I guess this is the bloody rose. Don't tell me it's the sacred rose or whatever it is. Anyway, this lovely blade here looks more like a relic blade than a power sword, but yeah, she's got an optional bolt pistol holster that can put there, and this brazier type banner thing. It looks amazing, so pompous and just, yeah, incredible. Yes. Okay, then you've got this one, which is, yeah, a bit of an odd pose, probably maybe touching down somewhere, maybe firing. One thing I will say is the bolt pistols are absolute pain to drill in. I think my hand drill is like a 1mm. Yeah, I would go for a 0.5mm if you can find one. I didn't have one, and yeah, all the shops are closed and stuff, so there's no way I could actually get one unless I sort of, yeah, probably ordered one from online. But still, if you can go for a 0.5mm for drilling out the holes, that would be better. That would help avoid any barrel breakages. You don't want any barrel breakages. Very painful. So yeah, that's that one. And then the final one. Come on, you good girl. Right, this one right here, awesome looking pose, flying that way with the sword raised, firing that bolt pistol off with a load of grenades. Again, some nice beads hanging around her midriff. Lovely armour, beautiful models, really, really are stunning. So there you go, that's all of the Zephyrim squad. My Seraphim squad review will be up next week on Wednesday. There's a bit of a preview that next week's Warhammer Wednesday video will be the Seraphim squad review. And then I've only got a couple more weeks of Sisters of Battle reviews. But what I'll do is I'll try to review the Battle Sisters squad, the Dominion and the Celestian squads, because they're the only models left I've got to review of this whole of the Sisters of Battle release. I'm not in the position of buying any more Penitent engines, and I've sort of did a review of the Penitent engine at the moment, so I'll try and release those on days that aren't Warhammer Wednesday, but I will be doing a review of this whole army, this whole Sisters of Battle release on a Warhammer Wednesday, and I'll try my hardest to do that in 2 or 3 weeks, and then you'll get to see all of the releases and my thoughts and opinions of all of the units and models that they've released. Okay, let's do some size comparisons. So, models that are similar, in a similar vein, similar fashion to the Zephyrim, which won't look out of place, are Saint Celestine and her band of merry ladies, sorry. You've got the Gemini Superior. They're both on, I say shorter. They're not as tall as the Zephyrim, just because they're held up not by one of these transparent stands, but actually held up by the ribbons of their purity seals, which is quite cool, I guess. Then you've got Saint Celestine herself, which, yeah, technically she is taller because of the wings, and height-wise, she's very similar height. So hopefully that helps you sort of get an idea of all these flying Sisters of Battle. They're going to look so cool when I've got the other Seraphim with them, and then the Seraphim from the army set. You're going to have 18 flying sisters coming at you. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Speaking of the Seraphim, yeah, they're exactly the same size. Maybe the Zephyrim have the appeal of looking bigger because of the spikes on their jetpacks, and the spiked helmets and the power swords maybe. So yeah, the Seraphim do look a little bit smaller compared to here is a Seraphim Superior from the set. A lovely model, no helmet though, but yeah, it's the same detail on these sets as you get from your battle as your army set that you got before Christmas. So yeah, same detail, but they will all work in harmony. Okay, other size comparisons. I've got an Anchorite, so similar height to an Anchorite. They're a bit taller, depends on which sort of height of flying base you put on them really, but they're going to be similar height to that. Compared to an Exorcist, don't fall, here's an Exorcist over here, and the Exorcist is still the tallest model, even taller than the Zephyrim Superior on the tallest base, so still redeems its place, other than the Battle Sanctum, of course. Let me show you some size comparisons with, I wanted to do some size comparisons with other jump pack troops, but I think I'll leave that for another time, and just show you some size comparisons with Space Marines. Yeah, if you didn't already know, they're going to be way taller than them, just because they're on those flying stands. Okay, I've just moved them over to the left for a moment because I want to show you all the spare parts, and this is what I mean by dual purpose kits and whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. In a way, this is great that you get so many spare parts, but in a way it's not so great if you can't utilise them at all. And this is what I mean. Look at all these spare parts, crazy. So you get an extra flying stand just because they come in a pack of 3 each, so that's 6 in total. So yeah, I've only used 5, so that's the spare stand. You get, while I do like the fact that you get all the orders, you can't do much about having all of the spare order sigils, I guess. So I don't know whether you could use them in anything, but this is what they look like. If I can zoom into them, there you go. So yeah, you get the, burning chalice or whatever it's called, and to get all of those extra ones, you get a chainsword, which you can't really use unless you use it for Seraphim. You get a load of different heads. You can have all of these with just helmetless heads if you wish, but there's enough parts to have helmets on all of these Zephyrim with the spiky helmets, and helmets on all of the Seraphim, and not have a naked head in sight, put it that way. You get all of the Seraphim jump packs, and again, look at that, bit of a waste. You get 5. Maybe you could put them on a base somewhere or stack them somewhere. I don't know what you can do with them, but yeah, you get the 5 Seraphim jump packs. You get bits and pieces like plasma pistols and, all the bolt pistols and things, melter and inferno pistols that you would have used for the Seraphim, and you get a load of purity seals, which I haven't really used that much on them. I think they're quite ornate anyway. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You get like little canisters and things, so yeah, you get a lot of spare parts here if you wanted to use them in your other squads, in your Battle Sister squads, but typically you get a lot of spare parts with that squad too. Okay, this is my part of the review where I will go through all of the rules for the Zephyrim squad. As I previously mentioned, they are an elite choice found in your brand new Sisters of Battle Codex. They're tucked away in the middle of the elite section of the book. They will cost you 5 power points and a points cost of 13 points per model. Not too bad. You're going to have to pay for their power swords though, which are 4 points each. Their bolt pistols are just free though. Their profile reads movement of 12 inches, weapon skill and ballistic skill both 3+, strength 3, toughness 3, 1 wound, 2 attacks, leadership 8 and a save of 3+. The Zephyrim Superior, however, has 1 more attack, so attacks 3, and a better leadership of 9. How does that compare to the Seraphim squad? Well, they have an additional attack. Instead of 1, they have 2, and they have additional leadership. Instead of 7, they have 8, and it's the same for the Superior. It contains 1 Zephyrim Superior and 4 Zephyrim. It can additionally contain up to 5 Zephyrim. Every model is equipped with bolt pistol, power sword, frag grenades, and crack grenades. So you can't have 15, but you can have 10 in a squad. So bolt pistols work as usual. The Zephyrim Superior can be equipped with a plasma pistol instead of a bolt pistol. That works as usual. If the Zephyrim Superior is equipped with 1 bolt pistol, she can have a Zephyrim pennant. Basically, you either have the plasma pistol or the bolt pistol, and if you've got the bolt pistol, then you can have that pennant, which I believe is what she's holding up, that big banner. Power swords work as usual, but I'll just go through their profile anyway. It's the strength of the user, which in this case would only be 3. The AP is -3 and the damage is 1. Now, they do have a number of abilities which differ compared to the Seraphim squad. They have Axe of Faith, Sacred Rites and Shield of Faith. So that means they get all the other special abilities that the other sisters get, and they get that invulnerable 6+ save. They have this ability called Rapturous Blows. When resolving an attack made with a melee weapon by a model in this unit, you can re-roll the wound roll. That's brilliant. It's so good that even though they're strength 3, they can re-roll that wound roll, and it's not just a re-roll a wound roll of a 1, it's all of them, if you so wish. So that will really come in handy with their poor strength, and it's great because they've got that weapon skill 3+, and they've got the 2 attacks. Would have been better if they did have a weapon skill of 2+, but hey, that's just a dream. Anyway, this Zephyrim Pennant, which mine's equipped with, you can re-roll charge rolls made for order units whilst they are within 6 inches of any friendly units with a Zephyrim Pennant when the roll is made. Absolutely fantastic. That's one of the reasons why you get it. You can re-roll the charge rolls. Sky Strike. During deployment, you can set up this unit in the sky instead of setting it up on the battlefield. If you do, at the end of your movement phases, you can set this unit anywhere on the battlefield that is more than 9 inches away from any enemy models. That's a nice surprise for your opponent. And then finally, Angelic Visage. The invulnerable save models in this unit receive from the Shield of Faith abilities improved by 1 to a maximum of 4+. Fantastic. So instead of you getting your 6+, you now got a 5+ invulnerable. That makes them more survivable. They're still squidgy with a toughness of 3, so they're going to be easy to wound. Their save is still 3+ normal, but it's nice that they have an invulnerable save of 5+ now. Their keywords: Imperium, Adeptus Ministorum, Adeptus Sororitas, Infantry, Jump Pack, Fly, Zephyrim squad. How do they compare to the Seraphim squad? Well, the Seraphim squad don't nearly have as many abilities, and they only have the bolt pistols, the inferno pistols, the flamers and so on. But the Seraphim do have that Angelic Visage, and they do have the Sky Strike. They're just missing the Rapturous Blows and the Zephyrim Pennant. That's what you're paying you more points for, other than those power swords as well, and the increased number of attacks and better leadership. So these are a great unit to surprise your opponent with. You've just got to get them out of the way of any kind of shooting attack or any unit that can pin them down, and that has a lot of they can fly about, so use that and try and pick off weaker squads. Try and avoid getting them tar pitted by a bigger unit. You know, horde armies. Stay away from big 10, 20 model units if you can, because they are quite squishy, and they still have the save of 3+ there. They're definitely a glass sword in every sense of the word. What do you guys think of the Zephyrim squad? And do you always pick the Seraphim instead of these, or are there other elite choices like the Hospitaller and the Arcoflagellants that you can use instead of these Zephyrim? Please do put all your thoughts and opinions down below. It'd be great to hear from you. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor protects.